Welcome soldiers to the second episode of Battlefield 4 Armory. My name is Drake Vanders and this is the MX4 Weapon Guide. The MX4 is an Italian submachine gun manufactured by Beretta of Italy and is the military select fire version of the civilian CX4 Storm, a pistol caliber carbine currently in use by various law enforcement and security agencies in India, Libya, Venezuela and even the United States. The MX4 possesses a select fire feature and a 12-inch barrel. It can accept a 9x19mm parabellum or 45 ACP chambering. It comes standard with its own 30-round detachable magazine, but can also utilize magazines from the Beretta 92 and 96 series. The MX4 is riding along its semi-auto-only brother in terms of reputation, being a reliable, accurate, easy-to-use weapon. In-game, the MX4 is chambered in the 9x19mm parabellum round, and is the default starting weapon for all factions engineer kits, and is placed in the class of a personal defense weapon, of which they are exclusive to the engineer kit, despite its real-life role as a submachine gun for firing a non-armor-piercing round. The MX4 sports an obtrusive iron sight, which limits your field of view. However, like most starting weapons, some attachments are pre-unlocked, this being the laser sight, ergo grip, and in the MX4's case, a western red dot sight. It has a fire rate of 830 rounds per minute, making this weapon ideal in close quarters, but like most PDWs, it struggles with a range of combat without burst firing. Let's look at the stats, shall we? Damage of the MX4 inflicts 25 damage up close within 8 meters, at which point it falls to a meager 12.4 damage at 55 meters. It has a magazine capacity of 30 rounds, plus 1 chambered, and a tactical reload time of 2.5 seconds, and an empty reload time of 3.4 seconds. Its recoil pattern is an upwards pull with a sharp turn to the left. It has a bullet velocity of 390 meters a second, which is reduced to a paltry 200 meters a second when suppressed. This makes the MX4 ideal in close quarters and urban scenarios, but poor for long range use. Let's move on to loadouts and tactics. Due to the MX4's role and nature, it supports 2 offensive loadouts. These loadouts are completely optional and are simply rough guidelines. It's up to the user's discretion to choose what attachments they prefer. The MX4 primarily supports 2 ideal loadouts in the offensive category. By default, its starting attachments are great for hipfire and run gun tactics, moving fast to close a distance, and spray targets down in lead. However, these 2 offensive loadouts follow specific roles. The first loadout is purely an offensive loadout, tailored for close range. Equip the default attachments, laser, ergo and optic of your choosing, and once unlocked, attach the muzzle brake or compensator. This in effect will reduce the MX4's sharp vertical kick, or completely eliminate the left turn. The loss in accuracy is minimal in close quarters, and burst firing is paramount for all PDWs over range. A word of warning however, while a suppressor might be an attractive choice, attaching a suppressor further reduces the MX4's effective range, reducing its bullet speed to a mere 200 meters a second, while attaching a muzzle brake or compensator allows for some leeway for burst firing while over range. The second offensive loadout extends the range of the MX4. Attach a heavy barrel. This equips the MX4 with a 16-inch barrel, which extends the weapon's range. With a sight of your preference, a laser sight and an angled grip, the added bonus in range and accuracy are useful in larger maps with longer sight lines, but this loadout is primarily useful for a person who has mastered the recoil control, as the first shot recoil is further increased with the use of a heavy barrel. With this in mind, short controlled bursts will lead to victory when utilizing this loadout. And let's review. The MX4 Storm's country of origin is Italy. It was manufactured by Beretta. It uses the 9x19mm parabellum round. It has a magazine capacity of 30 rounds plus 1 chambered, a fire rate of 830 RPM, a maximum damage of 25 over 8 meters, and a minimum damage of 12.4 at 55 meters. It has a bullet velocity of 390 meters a second, which is reduced to 200 meters a second while suppressed. Ideal in close range, with sharp vertical kick and low damage limits its effectiveness over range. Useful for a run gun playstyle, as well as utilizing a hit and run technique. Hope you enjoyed this episode and see you next time on the third episode of Battlefield 4 Armory, where we'll be covering the support's starting light machine gun, the Ultimax 100. See you next time. I'd like to give special thanks to Symphonic for providing top-notch details on weapon statistics and information. see you around.